Welcome to this ICF Slalom podcast episode, part of the series running until the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. We bring you the inside stories from around the globe from the people who make canoe slalom so special. Here's your host, John Gregory.
A warm welcome to this first episode of 2025. Thanks for joining me. It is always exciting to kick off a new competitive season. There are many athletes taking advantage of early races in Penrith in Australia ahead of the World Championships in October. The last Worlds in Penrith were all the way back in 2005. Can you remember who was on the podium? Today I'm delighted to hear from some of the winners at January's Oceania Championships in Penrith, Australia. Welcome to my guests, Adam Burgess from Great Britain, Mathieu Biazizzo from France, Jess from Australia, and Ben Pope from Australia. I, of course, also need to tell you that winner in the women's C1 was Olympic bronze medalist Evie Leibfarth from the USA, and in kayak cross, Tokyo Olympic champion Ricarda Funk from Germany. So ladies first, let's start with Paris double Olympic champion Jess back in her paddling kit.
It has been a pretty hectic 6 months. Definitely not training in the same way that I was at this time last year preparing for Paris, but really sort of embracing the different opportunities that have come my way and you know, whether that be like working for TV at the tennis or doing other things with my sponsors. I think it's been the time to do it. So I really sort of lent in and then trained around that and been able to sort of maintain a good level, and obviously not at the same level that I was at this time last year, but I'm trying not to compare myself because I think, you know, the goal this year is just to be ready for October. So Oceania Champs was good. I think 3 clean runs in the kayak felt really good. And, you know, even racing in the final, it was a solid run. There was, you know, few little mistakes here and there, but the intention was there and the attitude and just the way I raced was you know, something I was really proud of considering the lead-in that I've had. Definitely a nice way to start the year with a win and a second in C1. You know, the C1 felt great in the semi-final. It was one of the most sort of smooth and effortless runs that I've had in a while, so it felt really good. And then in the final, you know, it's always a fine line between being smooth and flowing and then trying to attack it and taking the risks. And obviously having a touch pushed me down the rankings, but still really pleased with the consistency in both events and just feeling good racing again. You know, it's been a while since the last World Cup race. So always good to get the feel for it in front of, you know, our international paddlers who are out here at the moment. And it's a great atmosphere and a great vibe to have so many people come out and train with us in the summer, obviously preparing for the World Champs.
That was Jess 2025 Oceania champion in women's kayak, and now also IOC athlete rep. She talked to us from home in Penrith, Australia. Next, I congratulated British Olympic silver medalist Adam Burgess with his win.
Really happy to get my season off to a good start. It's always interesting that first full run that we do of the year, particularly this year for me, having taken a bit of a break after the games. I got back into my training just before Christmas, and then obviously came out here to Australia in between Christmas and New Year's, ready to start a good kind of first block of the year for 2025. And I hadn't actually been on the stopwatch yet, hadn't done a full run yet before Oceania Champs. So really just had no idea how I was going to pitch up really against the rest of the competition. There's always a little bit of anxiety around that. Like, you know, am I still going to be fast? All of that. And, you know, I felt like I've been paddling well in training, and I was kind of just excited really to see kind of what sort of level I was going to be at. So it was really cool to then go on and win the race and I guess have a pretty strong showing through the rounds as well, winning the heats there and up there in the semis too. And it is my first win as a senior. I know it's not a World Cup or, you know, major championships for me, but it had started to kind of become a little bit of a thing, you know. I have this thing that I've said in my reviews end of season quite a few times lately that, you know, I've gotten very good at being good, but we need to start being great more often. You know, I know the statistics, and we looked at them one year were pretty damning for me, you know, as one of the most consistent finalists, but just not medaling nearly enough, not converting those finals nearly enough. we tried to learn a lot from that through seasons through 2022 and 2023 to kind of build the project for Paris last year. Yeah, I think there was a slightly different shift in the way I approached the games to try and bring out my best. And in the review of that, we've learned even more. And yeah, that's hopefully going to inform the project really going forwards. And seeing a bit of success from it out here at the Oceania Champs has been really positive. Hopefully showing us that we're going in the right direction. Obviously, with any race here on the year of the World Championships coming to Penrith, it's exciting to do well on the course where the major race of the year is going to be. So yeah, I'm quite happy paddling here. It does really feel kind of like a second home. I've been very fortunate to travel here a number of times now. Dating back to 2011 was my first trip. Definitely one of those places that as a junior and really when I was starting out in the sport, seeing the guys like it would be like Campbell Walsh, David Florence coming out here to train in the winter. It was one of those places that as a kid, it's always really wanted to come here and always felt like Oz Open, Oceania Champs were just a kind of cool race to do well at. Yeah, I've really fallen in love with the place, to be honest, over the past few years. I've spent a lot of time here now. I've got really good friends here. Love the white water course. It's a super fun place to paddle. So yeah, just really excited to return here in September, ready for the World Championships.
That was Adam Burgess, C1 men winner from the Oceania Championships. It seems extraordinary that was Adam's first senior international race win. He talked to us from Penrith, Australia. Next, men's kayak winner Mathieu Biazizzo. It seems a while ago as we watched Boris Neveu, Sebastian Combo and Mathieu take gold, silver and bronze for France at the Deep Creek Worlds. I started by asking him about why everything came together so well on this run.
I don't really have an answer to your first question. I wish I did, and if I did, I would probably keep it a secret, but because if I knew what made me perform like that, I would reapply the recipe and make it even better. And if I knew what made people perform so well, I would probably be best now. I would have worked my ass off to deliver all the time. But I don't know the truth. What I can say is that many things have changed in my life recently, and I'm super happy to have been back to school in September, and I think that's what made a bit of a difference for me in the way I see things, in the way I work things. I definitely have a little bit less time to train, and also my mind is taken off the nervousness of preparing for races, I suppose, in a way. I think being back to a more balanced life gave also the opportunity of clarity, meaning that I have questioned myself a lot on whether I should continue to paddle or not after some struggling years where kayaking hadn't been so good to me. I mean, my last selection on the French team was 2021. I had a race in 2022 in Tatson where I performed well, but it was the only international race of my season. So it's been 2 years without any major level international race. It's been hard. There's been some questioning, and definitely being back to school made me think of it in a different way and made me realize that I really love this sport. I still have it in me. I still want to perform. I'm still a competitor, so I'm gonna keep doing it for a while. And that's probably some part of the answer of what made me perform well here in Penrith. Also, for a change, this year I had my coach with me and I had a training group with two young athletes, dynamic, loads of power, and they challenge me every day at training, which makes probably also a big difference.
Next, I asked him if this was a good sign.
Is it a good sign? Yes, I mean, I suppose it is. I know one thing is that I've been struggling with a few minor injuries lately, so it's been hard to be full on at training. But also, if I'm back here at this level and paddling to win races, it's what makes me happy, and I'm definitely gonna keep trying hard as I can. No, I definitely don't think my competitors were up their games. Between the Australians racing their selections and the field of international paddlers that were here, it was really a fierce battle, no doubt. Indeed, it's been really great to see that many friendly faces back here at Penrith. Winter training has been great, January has been great, hopefully February delivers too. People came here probably to prepare for the World Championships, but I know they also come because this place is great, the course is awesome, and the environment around it is just magnificent.
That was Mathieu Biazizzo, men's kayak winner. He talked to us from Penrith, Australia. Next, men's kayak cross winner, Australia's Ben Pope.
Yeah, it was a really good weekend for me. I'm very happy with how everything's gone. I was successful pretty much across board. Good results in the slalom, like decent run in the heats, qualified straight through in the semis. Really good run in the semi-finals to win the semi-finals, and I think that put me third fastest time of the day, with only Matt winning in the finals, and then Titan Krastuk in the invitational semi-finals. And then finals obviously could have been a little bit better. Didn't quite perform as well as I did in the semis, but overall I'm very happy with how things have gone, and to be able to put down a couple of runs like that, it makes you feel good and puts you in good stead for things to come. Especially because this is the first international race of the season, so we haven't been able to compete against everybody for World Cups last year. So it's always good to see how well you can compare against the rest of the field. We had a pretty good field out here this last weekend, so to be able to put down some runs like that with the rest of the field, it makes you feel really good. And then to come to kayak cross, fantastic win. Fantastic weekend in kayak cross. I didn't have a very good season last year. I was recovering from injury and only just managed to get ready for the races, so I didn't perform very well then. So then to bring forward what I did this weekend, I came third in the time trial. Felt really good in the time trial. Was not far off the first place in that one. So I was really happy with that. That set me up in good rounds into the head-to-heads. So being third, I've cross board, I got to choose my lane, and in choosing my lane, I always picked the far left lane for Penrith, because it's just that little bit better. And from that, I was just able to get out ahead from everybody, get a good run off the ramp, get out in front. First gate was on the left anyway, so I just sprinted off, and every round that worked really well for me. Just good start, sprint off, get into the first up. I had a couple of lucky runs where the person following me actually split the up. So then each run, or each head-to-head, I got an up by myself. So I was able to do the up and get out. And it meant that I won every round that I was in, all from the start all the way to the finish. So I had the clean sweep, came first. And like you said, it's an amazing feeling. And to have that first win, first win of the season, and like you said, it's one of my first wins internationally, and again against a pretty decent field. It feels really good. It sets me up well for selections, and it just brings a bit more confidence into the next lot of things happening. We have another race in 3 weeks, Australian Open. That's the last of our selection races. So to have laid down a few good runs, first of all, sets me up well for selections, especially in kayak cross, having the third in the time trial and then the win in the head-to-heads sets me up very well. I'm in decent position in slalom for selections, so that just it brings confidence, means I can really go for it in the next race. Hopefully I can get a couple more podiums. Hopefully I can get one in slalom. I think that would be a really good end to the first couple of races of the season. And like you said, to have that win with, you know, friends and family around, my brother come over to support me and to do some coaching for some of the other kids. It just feels great. Feels great. Across the finish line, everybody's there cheering you on. You know, fist bumps of everybody. Just it's an amazing feeling. Like it's so good. That's the feeling that everybody chases, to finish and just know that you've won.
That was Ben Pope, men's kayak cross winner and Oceania champion. He talked to us from home in Penrith, Australia. Finally today, I went back to ask both Mathieu and Adam about the different race format.
No, I don't think I benefited particularly of the format of the race. I just do my job with the bit of experience I have. I know that it's different to prepare to do a top 30 and to prepare to do a top 12. So there's things I do a bit differently. I'm usually saving as much energy as I can. So if I have to do top 30, I'm gonna go easy on the preparation, on the process. And if I have to go straight to top 12, I would probably give more into the preparation and the warm-up.
That was Mathieu Biazizzo again, men's kayak winner.
On the race format, it definitely is different. Although I sense for the one run progression to final, so just that heats to final format into top 12, you know, I don't really see that as too much different. You know, semi-finals always one run. Yes, there's going to be a few more people going for that compared to if we'd done a heats the day before. But yeah, I don't really see that as too much different. But certainly this the championship format, the one run of heats, one run semi into final. Yeah, I mean, we saw some quite big name fallers here. Even at Oceania Champs, where, you know, it's not quite a full start line. So not progressing through the heats, I think, yeah, we saw that it can really happen to anyone. So it'll be interesting, I think, come October when we race in that format again, and yeah, could potentially be some upsets. I'm not sure if it changed my approach really. You know, there's obviously a temptation to try and back off a little bit, go a bit easier if you think that you're, you know, in a comfortable position to qualify. But at the same time, you know, you change too much about the way you paddle, then sometimes that puts you at risk of making the mistake that then puts you out. So yeah, no, it's interesting, but yeah, hopefully it doesn't change too much about the way that we race.
That was Adam Burgess again, C1 men winner from the Oceania Championships. Both talked to us from Penrith, Australia. Many athletes are in the Southern Hemisphere in Alain, Reunion, Rio, Penrith and Vero, while on another continent there was the Rio Open. Winners there were Ana Sattler from Brazil in K1 Women, Mathieu Desnos from Brazil, Martina Satkova in C1 Women from Czechia, Kawa da Silva from Brazil, and in kayak cross, Estacia Neta Amira from Brazil and Pepe Gonzalez from Brazil. Thanks to my guests Adam Burgess, Mathieu Biazizzo, Jess Fox and Ben Pope. Coming up soon is the Australian Open again on the course in Penrith. As we commented at the beginning, there are many international athletes taking advantage of these races ahead of World Championships here in October. The last Worlds in Penrith were all the way back in 2005, won by double Olympic champion Elena Kaliska from Slovakia, Fabian Dorfler from Germany and Robin Bell from Australia. I'm John Gregory. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, tell other people, send them a link, like, follow, or write a review. And if you need more, keep reading Ettore Evaldi's brilliantly insightful and eloquent blog. Stay safe.
That's it for now, but please subscribe to the podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or YouTube, and leave a review too. Until the next episode, keep it fast and clean.